with Merrick Garland, you're right. He's the highest enforcer of law in the land, and even he breaks the law because there is no law anymore. Simply, they arrest who they want to arrest. They drag Trump, the front runner, into numerous courts. They change the statute of limitations on laws. They actually make new laws so they can sue him for whatever they want. The message is clear. The Democratic Party has done everything in their power to show the American people the law does not apply. It hasn't for the past 10 years, and it will not in the future. What we need now is accountability and a show of force from Republicans to say the rule of law will be maintained and inherent contempt is that path.
So I'm still kind of, if we're going back to Merrick Garland in Oklahoma City, we can also talk through Eric Holder in Fast and Furious. And I was around during all of that. And what that story is really all about, we're actually starting to find out about now. This was the issue for which Eric Holder was held in contempt. And the real story was a deal between the federal government and the Sinaloa cartel.
All right, so this Eric Holder thing is kind of the blonde on the stage to distract the audience for the trick that he's doing, while the actual sleight of hand that he's doing is in the other shit. So you're going to be thinking about Eric Holder. I remember that name. He was in the news. And then you go back to the scandal, which was a scandal, but even that, and then, you know, the more you know about it, the more you're recalling it. Because how many of us remember the Eric Holder scandal? And apparently he was colluding with the cartels. Long story short, he says there's new developments. Good luck finding anything new about this, because I don't see nothing. And this is literally like I put in Eric Holder, Fast and Furious, Eric Holder cartels, Fast and Furious, 2024. You know, we'll even put in 2023, just for fun. I don't see nothing here. Okay, so you know what? Maybe it's Google. Let's 2011, 2000. And the last place they left off is that Eric Holder didn't have anything. I got no torch to carry for the guy. I don't even remember which political end of the aisle he leans on. And I remember Attorney General. That's all I remember. But you know what? Maybe Google is in on it with Mossad, because that's where he's going here. So let's have a look. Here's Yandex era. Eric Holder, oh, Furious. Never watched one of those movies all the way through. One time. Did like the third one, if you watch it with the sound off and you reduce it to the Asian girl in the booty shorts. But anyway, I digress. So, when did Eric Holder actually know about Fast and Furious? This is recent. Let's see. It's a YouTube video, though.
Good evening, I'm Brett Baer.
This looks old.
We have new information tonight in the investigation into the finesse. Is here with us in Washington this evening.
Hold on, this volume shouldn't be on. Okay, yeah, this is old. 2000. I should put it says new evidence, but the problem is it stays up and it's still called new 12 years later. And Tim Pool doesn't seem to be prepared for this. Because he seems to be because the guy brings up Israel on his own every time. Tim Pool is not particularly interested in Israel, as far as I know. He's always been very open and vocal about that. Everyone's a little more interested now than they were a year ago, for obvious reasons. So we got nothing on Eric Holder. Look for yourselves. That's it for Eric Holder. There's nothing new developing in Eric Holder thing. And if there is, he's got access to something I don't. Yeah, he's an independent investigator, but the point is, the rest of us are not. So he should have something. He has knowledge that the average person who has access to regular media, and by regular media I mean the internet, doesn't have. So he should be giving some context, but he doesn't. He doesn't for a reason, because that's not what he wants people to remember. He just wants to remember Eric Holder involved in something shady, and then he's going to attach something to that, and then he's going to attach Israel to that. So here we go.
There are pieces of that have been made known. And a number of the recent indictments that have come down just in the last couple of weeks are kind of showing the other sides of that. One of them is the use of Chinese financial infrastructure to launder money for the Sinaloa cartel. And then another one that is becoming evident is that the Sinaloa cartel was availing themselves of Israeli technology.
To avail. We don't use that word a whole lot. What does it mean? I don't think a lot of people knows what it means. It's where you help or benefit. You avail something. You take advantage of an opportunity. So the Sinaloa cartel took advantage of Israeli financial system. Now, when the person doing the action is the cartel. So what's Israel done wrong, right? Well,
and so the role of Israel behaving in totally unconstitutional ways,
for reasons I don't want to get into here, Israel doesn't have a constitution. And that's an odd thing to say when you're accusing a country of acting unconstitutionally. Of whose constitution are they supposed to adhere to? They don't have a constitution. They do have, on the other hand, 11 basic laws. 11 basic laws.
behaving in totally unconstitutional ways.
Whose constitution are we talking about? How do you act unconstitutionally when you don't have a constitution?
And illegal ways.
He goes on about unconstitutional ways a few times in this interview with him. Again, no constitution. And illegal ways, how are they illegal? He hasn't even mentioned anything Israel did. He mentioned what the cartel did, but specifically, what did they do? He doesn't. Israel's got 11 national base laws, and that's it. And they're here. Right there. Pause the video and check it out.
The accountability is starting to happen for that. And if we talk about like the legal absurdities of the war.
Or are we moving on to the war on terror? Okay, I thought you were going to say what Israel did. You never did explain that. Using the cartel, availed themselves of Israeli technology. But that's all you said. That's it? We're moving on? Oh, okay.
On terror, which motivate, I kind of get the sense, your politics and to a great extent mine. These legal absurdities, these going and doing things that we shouldn't be doing, a lot of that has to do with Israel, and now we're finally getting some accountability for that.
So then he uses this to segue into another accusation. It's all on the show. It's Tim Pool, type Arthur Bloom, Tim Pool, IRL, and that's it. That's how they get these stupid accusations, blood libels against Israel, and it can be done. It's done against other groups too, but in particular, this is how they have this guy just say this shit. They do it in a way where he just fudges it in there like that, and it goes into orbit. Thanks for watching.